Hi, this is Charlie Mato-Toyela with another video about playing or making Native American flutes. Today, I guess you'll figure out which one of the two it is. But what I wanted to share with you was something that a lot of you may or may not know. Some of you, I know, I've got a few subscribers and friends and people I talk to on a regular basis that do know. But I wanted to share with those of you that may not or may have just started your journey into the wonderful world of Native American flutes. This video, of course, being titled The Secret to Native American Flute Playing, I think that you'll find a lot of usefulness in it. I think that you'll see its name is actually what it's all about. We did make another video. If you guys, those of you who have seen our other videos, haven't seen it yet, you probably should check it out. It's The Secret to Native American Flute Making. And that video was very helpful, I think, or at least I try to make it very helpful. I had a lot of good results. A lot of people really enjoyed it. But I focused on the one main part that makes the flute play. And yes, that is the secret part. A couple people maybe expected that I would be dancing around and waving fans or maybe chanting or something, but hopefully the magic was there and everyone was able to use it. And hopefully so about this video as well. So what I want to show you about the Native American flute, there is a magic, and it's a lot bigger than anything a video could ever tell you, anything that I could even ever tell you, or anyone else that plays the flute. If there's anyone that calls themselves a Native American flute guru, they probably are the first student. You know, they're the beginning stage of playing the flute. You don't really ever become a guru and doing this kind of thing. But there are those of us who've played a lot and played, you know, with people and around people and for people, and, you know, even sometimes just for ourselves. I remember one time I was at an event, a powwow that we were at, and I was playing the flute and I fell asleep while I was playing. And one of my friends said that I kept playing while I was asleep until I woke up about 10 minutes later, which was really kind of an interesting thing for me and definitely opened my eyes to some of that magic. But I do want to share that with you today. I wanted to start off with my really old, one of my favorite flutes I play. It's the one that's in the intro and the ending of most of our videos. Sounds kind of familiar, right? This flute is made out of a piece of 2,000-year-old western cedar. And a friend of mine who is a park ranger up in Washington State had it. It was a felled tree on his property. It's been fell for probably 200 years now. Made a really great flute. And I've made a few others out of it, but not really something I'm interested in doing anymore. This design was a nice little design for a time that when I used to cater to people that liked fancy flutes, and these days I like to cater to everybody instead. So this is a great flute. It's a low-key flute, and people ask for lower key flutes a lot. And I wanted to show you how beautiful, you know, it does sound really great. And it's only a 5-hole flute. A lot of you that have 6-hole flutes, what I like to call the modern 6-hole flute, have an extra hole right there, which is kind of, in my opinion, out of place. It really belongs up here. And if you look at some of the older flutes that are a little bit bigger, like the quote-unquote Anasazi flutes or the rim-blown flutes from that area and that era, they do have their hole up here and a little bit of a gap in between. But you know, we'll have another video about that here really soon. But today, what I wanted to show you is that you don't have to have a really low-tone flute to play beautiful music. You don't have to have reverb. You don't have to have a studio where there's no cars driving by or people jogging. I like to make a lot of my videos out in the public, if you've probably noticed, except for our making videos where we usually do that in the shop. But what I want to show you, this is a 6-hole flute, and I know you see the two close together, but it's so tiny, it's a little different than your modern ones. It's made the traditional pattern and plays a little differently because you don't have to keep your finger on that hole all the time. But this is one of my other favorite flutes, and it's very high-pitched, and have so many people tell me when they're ordering a flute, I really don't like high-pitched flutes, and those are usually the beginning flute players that I hear too. No harm done if you're an advanced flute player and you feel the same way. It's okay. Typically people like lower tones. because they're closer, in my opinion, to delta waves, which kind of lull you to sleep and make you, kind of like the sound of my voice makes you feel. But the higher tone flutes, closer maybe to alpha waves or what have you, maybe a little more energetic sounding and a more like a bird. And I don't know how many people don't like the sound of birds, but I really do. There's some landing in the tree behind me here a few minutes ago, and there's one flying over our head right now. It's really one of my favorite things I grew up around, and probably helped me go on this journey that I'm on. But I wanted to show you on this flute the secret to flute playing. It's a lot simpler than you think. As we fly through the cosmos on our little ball of mud here that we're on, we do share a lot. We share ideas, and we share thoughts, and we share feelings. And some people say that the water that you drink may have recently evaporated from another continent, which, you know, had been through some other course in its life. Or the air that you breathe out, eventually goes into the plants and they make more oxygen out of it. So we share a lot of things being stuck on this little mud ball. And the sound, the music, is actually something too. If you can think about the music for just a moment as being a force like the wind, or maybe like fire, or I don't know, maybe like water, but probably more like the wind and fire. The reason I like to use fire a lot and make my flutes. It's a force. It's created by something else. And because we've come to this part in life, we've learned how to control it. That's what this is. And there's a lot of the control that we think we have that we don't, and a lot of the control that we don't think we have that we do. But that's what this video is all about, is to clear that up for you and to make it easier for a lot of you beginners especially to learn to play, and hopefully help a lot of the advanced flute players who have maybe gotten to a certain level, maybe help them close their eyes and just take the leap and go the rest of the way. It's not about what key your flute's in. It's not about how low it is or how high it is. And there is a magic. And I'm going to show you how to use the magic, and I'm going to tell you some references to it. And a lot of you are like, just get on with it, Charlie, especially my friends that I know really well. I can hear them. One of my buddies out in Australia, another one in Illinois. I can hear them saying, just go ahead and tell everybody. Well, there is a secret, I promise. And I'm going to try my best to show you and explain it to you. But it's in there. It really is. And I say in there, it's actually inside of us. Let me show you how to get it out. So, whether you're in front of people or at home playing or what have you, if you've got one of these flutes, go ahead and grab it. Prepare yourself. Feel free to stop the video and try this and see if it works. It will work for you. So, what I want you to do is think about breathing. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about breathing through your nose. And just think about that. Some of you have got friends out there that have some difficulty breathing, and they use the flute as therapy. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping it's helping you. But I want you to breathe in and think about breathing in. That's the part that a lot of us are missing from the very beginning. We don't think about it. We do it automatically, so we forget to think about it. Breathe in. And as you breathe out of your mouth, I want you to think about something that you're putting inside of this flute. It's an idea. It's the air, but it's an idea. And it's a powerful idea. Whether it's some stereotype that you're trying to believe in, or if it's some magic or some other religion that you may have, whatever it is, I don't care what it is, it's great. It's a fantastic thing. It's something you own. I want you to put that through the flute. And if you know your fingerings well, you're great and you're in good shape. If you don't, you need to learn them. But you can still do this. And I just want you to think for a minute. Breathe in. And I don't know if any of you could see any of what I was thinking when I was playing through there. And some of you it may not come across. I don't know if it works in front of the camera. I know it works in person. But that's just one note. So if you've just started learning your fingerings, hopefully you got that one down. That's all fingers covered. And I'm going to play another note. Let's see what happens. I'm going to play them together, but let's see what happens. There's an airplane overhead, by the way. So once again, I don't know if you could hear that or not, or see what it was I was thinking, or feel it, but like I said, in front of the camera it may be a little different. If it was a little louder, you might be able to feel it. Those vibrations are coming from this instrument. They're coming from me, which is really cool. I'm projecting those vibrations. Whether you're a hippie with crystals and howling at the moon, or you're some crazy scientist sitting in a lab, everything I'm telling you is the truth. I'm projecting those vibrations through this instrument. There's a magic in that, and a lot of people forget about it and have to have somebody hold your hand and stop for a minute and tell you about it. And hopefully this is going to help you some. There was a guy that followed Native American people around a long time ago named George Catlin. Any of you that get a chance, feel free to find a copy of his book. You can read it online. I have. It's called Shut Your Mouth. It's a book that he wrote about the way that Native American people teach their kids to breathe. And even today in some parts of the world where people that I still consider to be indigenous and related, of course, to my family and my people, speak a similar language, by the way. So in Hawaii, they call people that don't know how to breathe haule, which means you don't know how to breathe. And a lot of people are going to probably comment and say, well, that just means they used to wear a tight collar around their neck when the Europeans came over to visit. That's part of it, but they would have called them tight collars if it wasn't a breathing issue. But if you don't know how to breathe, that's something you can learn and you can practice. And we have a video about breathing. It may not be that great for you, but there's ways you can learn. But George Catlin taught in this book the Native American principle and philosophy of how to breathe, which was kind of neat. He attributed it to the way that we have good health and to how a lot of our emotional state is different and a lot of things that are really great. And a lot of people don't know how to do that these days, hence the state of a lot of the world today. But you have to learn how to breathe. Breathe in through your nose, and if for some reason there's something that makes it where you can't breathe in through your nose, physical or accident or what have you, breathe in through your mouth. It's okay. But take this air and remember what it's for. It's life-giving. It's what puts the fire in your body. Without oxygen, there is no fire. And with oxygen, of course, there is. But this fire that's inside of you, once you bring it out and express it through the instrument, that's all there is to it. There's nothing else to it. It's that simple. And if any of you that doubt me, if you just take maybe a half hour, maybe 10 minutes if you really doubt me, and practice doing that just exactly the way that I'm telling you, I really believe that you'll get something out of it. At least I hope you will. It's the whole reason I share these videos, isn't to keep things to myself, and it's not really big promotion for my website, although it's helped. That's not the whole reason I started. But I wanted to show you how to do some things here that you might really think are fantastic. Grow out of the idea of science is the answer to everything, or that crystals and howling wolves is the answer to everything. There's a lot of other questions in the world. So I'll go ahead and play for you for just a moment, and I'm gonna let you go and try this yourself. Please feel free to stop the video at any point in time and try it. As I'm playing, I can actually feel my mouth vibrating, and it starts vibrating behind my ears and in the back of my neck. A lot of Reiki people and chakra people are going to say, well, that's your chakra opening up. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But I do know it is magic, and I wanted to share it with you. So just an idea for you. And if you noticed, I played kind of slow and soft and everything in the beginning, and then I kind of sped up, though not very much at the end. You have control over all of that. It is magic, and you can do it. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a line. There may be a part 2 to this video one day if I get enough questions about it. If not, I certainly hope that it has benefited you, and or does it benefit you? I wish I habla inglés more better. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. English is my first language, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and certainly see how you can learn to play the flute. This flute here is no different than the one that you probably have, even if it's a 50-cent powwow edition. You can still learn to play it and express yourself through it. So once again, Charlie Mato-Toyela signing out for BlueBearFlutes.com and Blue Bear Arts here on YouTube, as well as Facebook. If you want to come check out where we're at and what we're doing, find us on Facebook at Blue Bear Arts. And take care. Happy flute playing.